Alright YouTube, in this video what we are going to see is how to create a accordion with the help of Jquery. As you can see at the bottom, you can see section 1, section 2, section 3 and section 4. When I hover, you'll see the background along with the content gets changed. This is what we are going to see in this tutorial. The tutorial is about 70% HTML and CSS and just 30 or 20% is Jquery. Follow along with me. I'll do it as fast as I can. Fine, let me remove all the CSS, let me remove all the JavaScript and CSS and show you what it is like just by with HTML. So we have consider a big container. The big container is called the center it, and the center it has two child. The first one is contain and the second one is nav list. So the nav list contain the footer section and the first contain the slider. Each slider, we have 4 different slider over here. Each slider has contains a div which has our heading and paragraph. Let me say once again, we have a parent container which is center it, which we use it to center our accordion on the center of the screen, center of the browser. The center it has two child div which is contains and nav list. The nav list has a link and the contains has the slider. We have 4 different slider with respect to the footers for link. I'm not given link, it is simply a UL and LI. Fine. Each slider has a div. In this div has heading and paragraph. Fine. I hope the introduction is pretty good. If you don't find it comfortable, I want you to pause and rewind as you like. And once you understand HTML, get into the CSS, or else it would be very difficult to catch up. Our main container, center it. As the name suggests, we are going to center it with the help of. Before that, let me style the body tag, which is background black and the color as white, and for all the element in the div should have box sizing border box. Fine. Now it's time for the center. Position absolute, top of 50%, left of 50%, transform, translate 50% on x-axis, 50% on y-axis. It will center it. Fine. Now the center it has 2 sections. The first one is contains and the second one is nav list. So let me give the height and width to the main container. Let me give the height as 400 pixel and width as 100 pixel, 100%. I don't want overflow. I don't want overflow. Hidden. That means all the content would be hidden. Instead of giving the width 100%, let me give 80%. Fine. So now the contains, and inside the contents we have slider. The slider should have the same width and height as of the parent. except there is a modification in the height. The reason for having less height is to accommodate the nav list. So these two child combines 400 pixel, and so as the parent. That's the main reason. Fine. Let me give the color for temporary so that you can understand what I meant to say. And there's a problem with slider as well. We need to make overflow hidden. Now the mistake what we have done is we have to copy paste this, since this is the direct child. Sorry, this is the indirect child of center it. This is a direct child, so this should be the both 350 plus 50 should be the combination of 400. And now we got it. And to appear the sliders content on a single page, you have to give the same width and height to the slider. So the reason for doing it is you can get on a single page, you are getting on a single page what you are getting is single content. Fine. And inside the slider we have one more thing, content. The reason for doing this is we want to position it over the on the center. SABSOLUT. Whenever you use position absolute, we need to make sure our parent is using position relative. Top of 50%, left of 50%. Transform, translate 50% on x-axis, 50% on y-axis, both minus. And if you want, you can give the padding of 20 pixel. This thing we don't need padding. Fine. Now there's a space between this. Let me see what it is. We have a center it. The whole makes 400. The contains is 350. The contains is 350, and the nav list is 50. So inspect it, you'll see the gap. Okay, let's do the nav list. UL, let me remove the list style none and display flex, and each li should have width of 23%, or let's say 25%, and don't forget we need to give the height as well, or else it will stick only half. When you give 100%, yes, we got it. If you want, you can change the color to red and make the font weight as 900 pixel. This is the maximum for. Fine. Now everything seems to be working fine. center position, slider. We don't need 80%, we need 100%. Only the parent should have 80%. The parent is centered and everything should get 100. That is it. Nav list is also having the same issue. Fine. The reason for giving 80% to the parent is we want these spaces. If we copy paste the same 80% to it, it takes the it takes the parent's 80%, and in that 80% it takes 80%. I don't want that. Fine. Now we need to figure out why this space. Let me give the margin of 0 pixel, padding of 0 pixel. I hope this should sound. Yes. And border right of 5 pixels, solid red. Li colon and last child. Last child should not have border right. And align it on the center. Fine. Now everything seems to be working great. Now it's time to fix the images. For since each content is separated with a class slider, we're going to give background color, background image to slider and child. First one, second one, third one, fourth one. Give the background image colon URL 1.jpg. This is 2, this is 3, this is 4. I have already downloaded each images. For you, you have to make it. Let me see what makes the mistake. This is parent and it uses position absolute. Fine, we have used relative. And this is parent, we have used position, and the parent should have position. We'll target on the image first. There seems to be image, but why it's not opening up? To check 1.jpg. Sorry, the image format is different, that's the reason. Yes, let's make it no repeat, and the size should be cover. There seems to be a mistake. You have to give background background size cover. Yep. Fine. Now it's time for the content. Give the background RGB for transparency, absence of light 0.8, and padding as 20 pixel. Fine. Now it's time for our jQuery part. Document dot ready function to check we are using it some alert that this code should say when the document it should trigger a function. Fine. Next thing, when I hover on the navless li, that means hover, or let me say mouse move, on mouse move I want to execute a function, and what this function will do, this function should simply alert it for our convenient. That means our code is working fine. Yep, exactly. And this is for only first child, colon nth child. Just for first child. Yes, it is working. So what should I do? I want to, let me write a class. Now you can see the first image is appeared, and I want the fourth image to get appear. So for that I will give z-index slider. Yes, there was a mistake. The reason for not changing is we have to make the, in order to use z-index, we want the parent should have position absolute, and in order to use position absolute we want our parent should have position relative. Let me try it. So it is working. This is the third image, as you can see by the change of heading. Apply it to the fourth one, z-index fourth. Fine. The same, write it on a class, say active. So I'm going to add the class. When I hover on the first section, I want the first slider. How do I choose first slider? First slider nth colon nth child. First slider. To add class active, simply active. Now go for testing purpose, we'll go for the second. If I hover on the section 2, I want the heading to change as well as the background image. Yep, that's working. The same code to be repeated for all different sections. first one, third div, and this is the fourth one. Fine. It will not go back because I have not used the remove. Before making it active, I want it to remove from other than the nth child. By writing this, the code will be reversible. Yep. Yes. The scope of the video is done, I guess. 3 voice.